the dating strategy of the decade. This is the new strategy that all women should take. And if you do start to take this strategy, you will have dating success, that you will actually find good men out there, and you will find yourself with a ring on your finger if you really take this to heart and hear me out, okay? When you are dating from here on out, I want you girls to get into the habit of becoming most available for the guys that give you the most attention. Are you tracking with me? And then I want you to become the most unavailable person for men who are not giving you attention, who are giving you breadcrumbs, who give you a little and then pull back, give you a little, then they're not there. Guys who are leaving you breadcrumbs, I want you to become uninterested in. And the guys who are actually showing attention and intention to you and towards you, I want you to become available. I want you to actively begin to receive from these types of men. If women started to do this, like, you know what? I actually don't care what this guy looks like. You know, I'm not gonna get overly prejudgy on him real quick, but if he's really genuinely coming towards me, he's being intentional, he's being kind, he's being, thoughtful, I'm going to receive a date from him. I'm actually going to go on a date with him. And the guys who are just babbling away, not making a date happen, they're just sort of, taking up my time, or maybe going on one date and then they're talking me to the next 2 or 3 weeks. Those guys are a no-go. Or a guy who even gives you a lot of attention one day and then he's disappeared the next 3 or 4 days. Those guys are not intentional and they are not giving you quality attention. Here's why this is the dating strategy of the decade. Because so many women are missing out on really quality men, men who actually have the stamina to have a relationship, men that actually demonstrating that they have emotional intelligence, meaning they know how to actually give you attention and intention and be clear and show up and have follow through. But the issue is that women dismiss those guys almost on autopilot, and they're obsessing towards the men who actually are doing the opposite. And so girls come to me, I'm a dating coach, and they say, oh, there's no good guys, there's no guys out there. Oh my gosh, I'm not getting asked out on any dates. Ew, what's going on? And then when you really actually dig deep into them, is it not that you're being asked out on dates, or are you being asked out on dates? They're just not guys that you think you would be a good match with. And they'll say, well, yeah, actually come to think of it, I am being asked out on dates, but I don't like any of those guys. Oh my gosh, I could not even stand them. Or, I did give this one guy a try, but ew, gross. We are so not a match, yada, yada. And so he was a nice guy, but no, he's not really my type. He's not this and that. And I'm okay, but you're currently obsessing over a guy who came in hot and is now breadcrumbing you. Am I getting that straight? Yeah, I am. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay. But of course they'll say more things but this and that and da. No, I want you to get in the habit. Hear my words, hear my language here. I want you to get in the habit of saying yes and receiving from men who are coming towards you, who are giving you attention with intention. If you get yourself in the habit, truly, and the habit of saying yes to these men, your mind, you will signal to your mind, oh my gosh, there's actually way more men out here than I have been giving credit, who are good, who are coming towards me. Number 2, oh, there are guys who do like me, who do want to go on a date with me. Okay, cool. So regardless if they're boring or whatever the thing is, I want you to start saying yes to them. I want you to become most enamored by guys who are actually giving you quality and quantity attention and with intention. They have intention with you. And how will you know if somebody has intention right away? Well, here's one thing. They have quality communication. They are going to communicate with you. They're going to follow up with you and ask to see you again, tell you they had a good time, tell you something about wanting to see you again. That is intention. That's intentional. But a guy who just doesn't really make another plan, is sort of meh, kind of talking to you a little bit, kind of not, he's not putting real thought forward. board, that's a guy who is just not ready. He's unsure of himself. He's unsure of his ability and relationship, unsure of you, or he's just unsure of what he wants with you. You, as a high value woman, should not be hanging out with men who are unsure of what they want for themselves and what they want with you. And they're not even willing to set up an intentional next date with you. I promise you, guys who come through, girls who end up getting married in my world, who come through my program, men who end up putting a ring on someone's finger are very kind and intentional and thoughtful, and they follow through, and they're planning. They're not leaving the woman guessing. If a guy is leaving you guessing, I want you to become uninterested, unavailable. A guy who is not keeping you guessing, he's very clear, straightforward, I want you to become available for him, even if he doesn't tick every single box that you have. If you begin to do this, you begin to train yourself to understand what it's like to receive from men who are actually available. It's not that you have to marry any of these guys right off the bat, but it is that you have to say, I'm signaling to myself that I'm actually available. I'm signaling to myself that there are men who actually are emotionally available, who are intentional. So it's a lie and it's incorrect. It's a false fact for me to say that there aren't good men out there, that there aren't enough men, that there aren't guys who follow through. So we want to clear up what's factual and what's not factual, because a lot of us are believing a false narrative. We speak it over and over, and therefore we play into that over and over. I promise you, try this out. Go do that this week. Say, I promise to myself, I'm going to say yes to dates that men ask me on with intention. Even if I don't feel like they're my perfect type or hitting all the boxes, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to go on a date with them, just for pure practice and pure creating a new habit. And guys who are not, I'm going to become uninterested in. I'm no longer available for that. I am uninterested in men who are not following through. Go try that this week, because I'm all about action. If you're in my coaching programs, like, I make girls go out and do things and then come back and report what happens to them. Okay, that is your homework assignment. Be available this week. If you are going to do that this week, if you're going to make a promise to yourself this week, if you are going to make that commitment to yourself that you're just going to be brave, you're going to be courageous, you're going to go out there, you're going to get on the field, you're going to actually stay available for men who are available, you're going to give them a try. I want you to write that in the comments below for accountability. Tell me that you're actually committing to that this week, and then report back to me how it went. Like, let me know, write me a DM. I mean, my DMs get flooded, but you can write it in the comments how it went. I want to hear what happened, what came up for you. Just a quick story before I wrap us up. I would not be married today if I did not shift that within myself. I became wildly unavailable for men who just were breadcrumbing me. I stopped allowing their attention in my life, and I decided to stay open for men who were intentional. And my husband was one of them, and he wasn't exactly my type entirely. He had a lot of qualities, but he had a lot of qualities that weren't my type. And he ended up being the best thing I never knew I needed, that I just love to death. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh, I would have missed out on this amazing man had I not softened and said, wow, I'm going to open up. I'm going to receive from good men starting here. And as long as this person wants to pursue me, I will reciprocate right now, because I am available for men who want to actually pursue me for real, instead of trying to chase after guys who are just so unavailable. So I really want you to try that this week. Try it out. Report back to me. I want to hear how it goes. As always, if you love this, be sure to subscribe. And below, I have a freebie for you. It is just a guide to help you become the one woman a man cannot live without. So check that out if you want to get that. The other thing is you can join the waitlist for my signature True Feminine Academy. I get girls engaged in that program into good relationships. I mean, we do all the work that I truly believe is required for you to be extremely successful in dating. So if you are wanting to get into high-level mentorship and really want more and want to take your dating game seriously, click the link below, get on the wait list. And if you're watching this and we're in an enrollment period, go ahead and sign up. And I would love to see you there. I think that's all I have for you. Love you guys. See you next week.